Hobby Streaker, stripping down your hobby to its bare plastic. Hey everyone, welcome to the Hobby Streakers episode 6. We did have a 5.5 by 5.75 as a stream, which didn't really go as planned, but anyways. My co-host, Liam, today on day 1385. So, how's it going? Good?
Good. I've got lots of secret project stuff done today.
Cool. Which you will not
By
talk
lots,
about,
I mean,
of course.
some.
But well, some is a lot. It's still better than nothing, so.
Everything is now built and primed.
That's cool. That's one big step for sure. I am JG. I am on day 208. I had my 200th day on the day that we did the stream, which again, for those who attended and those who watched it, didn't really go exactly everything as planned, but it was a test run more than anything else. I've tried some other stuff in between. Yeah, we'll see. I think we need I need an upgrade on my side of some of the stuff, but to make it work properly and all this. But anyways, I wanted to do a quick shout out to all our members on Discord. So Mechanical Frog, Sleeper Whale, the Felhos, Archmagos, Ashleen Gaming, Caleb, Nithrir, Amilan, Spencer 1945, Psychopath, I like that, and the Fox that likes trains. So all those are our current Discord members. Some really chill talk about the hobby, some 3D printing stuff, some hobby stuff, some stuff that I'm not very familiar with. But again, you know, we're there, all in there to this together. We're just helping each other, and so yeah. Today I am gonna continue painting Mr. Falcon, because on the stream I basically did the clouded yellow, like the explosion a little bit yellow. That's pretty much all I did, so I will keep going with...
There was lots of swearing under your breath and tech stuff.
Well, yeah,
especially
after, but yeah. It's frustrating when things don't go the way you want it, and I tried a lot of other things after, and it still doesn't do what I really wanted to do. So, anyways, we'll see. So, are you painting your chunky boys today?
I am on the chunky boys, back on the chunky boys. I started painting these during the stream, so this is the first time people will have actually properly seen them with words attached. So
yeah,
chunky boys.
Well, that's
so
good.
The plan for today is to get the gold done on this guy, and then start blocking in the red, and I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, I'd like to get the explosion done today, but it's gonna take a while because it's all gonna be layers, and it's all gonna be...
these guys have lots of armor trim on, so that's
it's gonna take you a while. Yeah,
careful stuff. So you got like all the lightning bolts and stuff around the face on the shield.
Yeah.
You've got all the lightning bolts around all the lappets and the shin guards and the gigantic pauldrons.
And I am trying to figure out how am I supposed to do this. Yeah, red towards, yeah. So, what did you do those past 2 weeks? I mean, I'm sure we talked about it during the stream, that what we did and everything, but again, with everything that happened, we're just gonna go as if we didn't do the stream because, well, I mean, for the people just listening, they haven't seen the stream, and they probably won't if they're not doing, if they're only doing the listening part. So yeah.
I mean, normally I'd go, hey guys, go watch the video, but it's probably honestly probably not worth the time.
Oh yeah, no,
it's JG painting a cloud and getting increasingly frustrated with technology. So if that's what you're into, then go for it. So yeah, the last 2 weeks I finished the Gryph-hound statues that I was painting.
Yeah.
I started and finished Lady Alinda, Mortarch of Grief.
Oh, is that the ghosty lady?
That's the giant ghosty lady who is really, really fiddly.
Oh yeah, that's all wobbly.
Not
wobbly. Yeah,
she's
because
gorgeous
she's
model. She's one of the best models I think the workshop have put out, but maybe not designed to be held by human hands.
Yeah. Well, again, those are like
that,
your when I did my Storm, which kind of the same thing where she's held just by just tiny little points and super wobbly. I ended up at the end just like pinching like one part of the body just to paint everything else, just to be like. So yeah.
No, I wasn't holding the base when I was painting her. I was holding like the little wisp of ghosty dress, just to try and get her to stay in one place so I could paint her properly.
Yeah.
But I've not been like the Nighthaunt that I've been painting. I've been doing more of a sort of a speed challenge.
Okay.
To try and get them done as well as I can, as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really like super duper fast.
Alright. So what else have you done?
After that, I did some Ether Wings because they were quick and easy.
Okay.
Set of 3 birds. Mostly do those with
contrast.
contrast.
Oh, is that like they look like phoenixes? Phoenix?
They're just eagles.
Oh, the eagles. Oh, okay.
They're eagles, basically, with little ribbons around one foot, and they're flying with the ribbon around their foot, and the ribbon is brushing up against a handily, conveniently placed tree, so that they can actually
so they can fly without the transparent base crap.
Yeah.
Alright. I hate those. I really hate those, like the transparent base thing. I don't know why people. Well, I don't know why they still do this. I mean, like this guy. This guy is attached by his wing to the cloud. I have a whole bunch of them that are like attached by some cloud or piece of terrain, by something. Yeah, like you say, well placed. But yeah, cool.
After I did those, I started the Annihilators during the stream, and I've got over here 2 sets of 3 Vanguard Raptors with long strike crossbows that are almost done.
Are those from the Dominion box or not? No.
No.
One set of those is from... They're not the new crossbowmen from the Dominion box, right?
They're not orcs.
Don't they have cross? Oh no, they have the bows.
Orcs,
they have the bows
have
in
the crossbows.
Yeah, true.
None of the new Stormcast bow stuff is out yet.
Yeah. That was true. I thought I was sure there was some in there. All right, cool.
So one set of those is from the magazine, which is where the Ether Wings are also from.
Yeah.
And the other is just one that I had sat around on my desk that I'm taking the opportunity to get done at the same time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's it.
All right.
That's my 2 weeks.
And I'm gonna look at my notes because I have no freaking idea. Well, no, I know. Like some of it I know. So I worked on... so... making my paint rack, which I've shown on the stream, which is my new paint rack, which I designed and 3D printed, and I put against the wall. I started printing the other one, which I have all the pieces except one shelf that I still need to print. But I was on vacation. Well, I am on vacation, so Monday I actually left for the day to go to the zoo, and so I turned off my printer. And it's the old printer that I need to level by hand, which is a pain. So I'm like, no, I need to just go back and re-level it before I print the last little shelf, which is gonna take about, I think, 6 hours or something like that. So I'll probably launch it today after the stream, just so that it will be done. So worked on some OBS, the streaming, all these things, way more than I should have. It's just been crazy. So yeah, again, stuff that I've said before, but I pierced my FEP with a print. So the FEP is the piece of clear plastic that's at the bottom of the vat of the resin printer, where the resin is inside. And so there's a hole in there, so the resin leaks onto the screen, which sucks. So I did get myself, and I don't know where they are, but I did get myself some plastic razor blades to just scrape that off the screen, which should be fine. But it's a pain. I need to change that FEP, and I still have not done it. I've started working on my diorama of Luke Skywalker cutting down the Dark Troopers, which are starting to turn out pretty well. I made them all nice and shiny like they are in the TV show. I worked on Mr. Luke Cage, which I think is starting to look pretty good, and on Sin, which I'm almost done. I just need to finish the base. I also received the Kickstarter Infinity Defiance, and so what I've done is I've actually starting to put a lot of the minis together, and I'll show some of the minis on. They are awesome as far as detail is concerned, but I mean, they require a lot, and you see, like, I'm just cleaning it on screen, but they require a lot of cleaning, and they are
they're metal,
heavy.
Right?
Yeah, they're all metal, so a lot of flashing. Mode line, not so much. I haven't really seen any mode lines, but a lot of flashing, which I guess is kind of the same thing. And the thing is, so super detailed. The problem is, so when you put a mini together that is plastic, you put gel super glue, or like me, the cement, and then you put them together. The cement is gonna act fast enough so that you can let it go, put it nice gently on the table, let it dry, and solidify. Well, let it dry for the super glue, let it fuse for the cement. That's not the case when you have metal minis, because it's freaking heavy as hell. So you put the part, you put it down, and then the part is so heavy it'll just fall off. So I had my fingers full of super glue. I was getting frustrated because it would take me 20 minutes or more to put one figure together, because a lot of the time was spending holding the freaking thing together. So I ended up making my own accelerator, which I will talk about in the things that we've tried. So yeah, other than that, well, I might as well just... So that's pretty much all I've done. I also primed some terrain right here. So with the primer filler, I'm thinking that I might put another coat on it. The weather has just not been so great, and this is a rattle can. So some terrain for Stargrave, and the terrain for my diorama, which are the little panels on the back and the floor also. They still need a little bit of cleaning, but yeah. So 3D printing stuff on FDM printer, primer filler. So I'll explain later on why when we do the 3D printing section, which is a new section in case people have not seen the previous episode. We started doing a 3D printing section of the podcast. So this is what I tried. So that in that bottle, it's a little spray bottle, and basically, so I learned that the reason super glue doesn't harden when it's inside the thing and everything, it's because it's suspended in a acidic solution. So what you want to do is remove the acidic solution by doing a base, and you need some kind of water or humidity to activate the CA glue. I don't know if that all is true, and I haven't done any research on it, so I will need to research. But basically what they're saying is, what you want to do is basically do 150 milliliter of isopropanol alcohol and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. So the baking soda is basic, so it will neutralize the acid inside the thing, the CA glue, and then the alcohol will introduce the humidity and evaporate quickly so that it dries super quickly as well. So I've tried, and I've made myself some, and it works okay. I still would like to try the actual accelerator that you buy, which a lot of people are saying that stuff is really nasty, so I will be wearing gloves if I do any more. But I did manage to build a few of the models a lot quicker because of that DIY accelerator. So again, well, you can find some recipes online, but 150 milliliter and some baking soda, which does not dissolve completely into the alcohol. So keep shaking it, because if you let it go down to the bottom, then what you're sucking is mostly the baking soda, and then the baking soda on the mini will do like we were talking before, which I did for fixing Mr. Captain America's wing, and that's a paste, and then you end up with the paste on top of your model, which is not what you want. So keep shaking it. Little tip, I just kept shaking it all the time because it gave me some issues where I had like big clump that I had to scrape.
Sticking a ball bearing in?
No, not even. Like, it literally, like, you can see it's suspended. It's just that it doesn't dissolve very well. So you just need to make sure that it's when you spray it, it needs to be all suspended. And then if you leave it for a little bit, it'll just start settling down on the bottom. And then if you wait too long, or even if you just grab it, spray, grab it, spray, grab it, spray, it will end up going back to the bottom pretty quickly. So yeah, cool. So I just keep shaking it, and the fact that it's in a small transparent bottle, that gives me a visual of what it looks like. I mean, you can see already that some on the bottom already started settling down on the bottom. So yeah, you might want to actually like leave it upside down and then spray. I don't know, but it works. Like I said, it works okay. I would like to try the real one. Even if it's nasty, I don't mind just using one glove on one hand and just spraying, and we'll see. I mean, it's just, I'm okay with it. It helped, but it's definitely not perfect, and definitely will require a lot more work on this. I don't know if there is something better that can be done. That I don't know. But again, eventually I'll get the accelerator from, I found one on Amazon that's Adam Savage. I don't know if you remember him from Mythbusters. Yep. He's got his own YouTube channel now, Tested.
Yep.
And he spoke a lot. Like I know he wrote a book, and in his book there is an entire chapter on glues. Like all the different glue and what you need it for what purpose and all this. And I know that CA glue is something that he uses all the time. And is one of his videos, he talks about the different types of glues, accelerators, and so on. They will work better on the gel super glue, not the liquid one. So I have one liquid super glue and I have the gel one, and it worked a lot better on the gel than on the liquid one. So just, again, why? I'm not too sure. I haven't really done any research on it. So...
For science reasons.
Yeah, well, again, like that's definitely something I would like to look into further. And I know that Goobs did a proper chemical engineering onto the like YouTube videos on what are the properties of the glues and everything. And I honestly have not looked into it. Yeah, so I should look into it more and actually understand. And maybe then I'll be able to think about modifying that recipe and finding some other ways. And what is actually into a real accelerator for the glue. But anyway, so that's what I tried. So a lot of metal mini assembly. And yeah. So what about you?
I am currently trying...
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Citadel Colour STC base brush.
Alright.
Because the base brush that I was using previously, the tip is starting to go.
Yep. That'll do. So, can you show
I
it?
was like, I need a new brush. So I've gone out and bought one today.
Synthetic?
So this is this. This is the... Yep, this is from the new...
Oh, the new range of white.
Lines.
Yeah. Cool. That's the white one, right?
It's the white ones.
Nice.
So...
Cool. How do you like it so far? Yeah? Nice.
It's doing what I need it to.
Yeah.
But bearing in mind I've been using it all of... 25 minutes. So...
Well, you know, again, like sometimes it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
You know, like you got something that's crap, you know, you use it for 2 seconds and you're like, okay, yeah, this is no. Like, yeah. All right, well, so did you try anything else? No?
Nope.
So you said shade and base? Is that what it's called? Shade and
I've
base?
got...
Oh, you got another
shade.
one.
I've got another one. It's on my brush rack.
Cool.
Don't need to shade anything right now, so...
Yeah. Alright, well, yeah. So, we ran a streaker poll. That was a quick one. Sorry about that. I know that, I kind of thought about it yesterday and I'm like, oh, we don't have a subject for the podcast. We should have recorded yesterday. Liam had previous engagement. It kind of worked out for me too. So that's why we're recording today. And since I'm on vacation, I'll have plenty of time to do the recording, the editing and all this. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been on vacation. Like, really hard. It's just weird. I trying to stay away from the hundreds of emails that I've... Yeah, I think I'm almost 200 now in 3 days, but yeah. Anyways, so we ran a poll about game size and what people prefer. If it was the army size, 40k, Age of Sigmar, Legion, Kings of War. There's probably tons more. Where basically you're pushing around armies. Units are grouped usually into formation, battalions, troops, whatever you want to call them. they all have their different names. Coherence is a word that comes back often. Like they need to stay within an inch of each other, 2 inches of each other, or whatever is the rule for that particular game. I don't really know how Age of Sigmar or Warhammer 40k works, and I'm sure Liam will explain it better. I know Legion, you move one guy and then you can move everybody else within an inch of that guy. And so movement is a little bit, I think movement like this is a bit easier because you don't have to be like, oh, they all need to be within. No, they just like, you move one and then you move everybody else. And they all need to be within, and that's it. And that's a coherence that they do in Legion. And I believe it's kind of similar for 40k and AOS.
I don't know how 40k works at the moment. But
what about AOS?
For Horus Heresy and stuff, it's every model in a unit has to be within 2 inches of at least one other model in the unit.
Mm-hmm.
For iOS, under the new edition, it depends on how big your squad is.
Alright, well, so that's...
there's good coherence, which is models of 5 models or less, which have to be within an inch of a other model in their unit. And if you've got over 10 models, over 5 models in your unit, then you need to be within an inch of 2 other models in your unit.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So you need to hold hands, 2 people.
I never understood that, but
I know why they've done it, but it's
a
little bit daft.
No, but and that's mostly and this is the thing. So usually a unit is worth that many points of damage, basically. And so when you get hit, you start removing models. And like depending on the games, you end up with getting rid of the base trooper first, keeping your specialist, and then at the end keeping whatever the last model standing is going to be the commander of that particular squad or battalion or whatever. And so that's usually how it goes. And so armies are usually a lot of big armies, 20 plus models usually. It's pretty easy to find. How many models do you have in your army for Age of Sigmar? For your Stormcast?
In my Stormcast army, what did I take on Sunday? I had 3 characters, so 3 single models. I had 3 lots of 5 troops, and then I had 3 lots of 3 support units.
That's already 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 already? Something like that?
So 15 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 for the ballista.
So 15 plus 9 plus 4. 15 plus 9, that's 24, plus 4, 28, plus 3, 31. So yeah, you get that 20
and
plus
Stormcast are a low model count army.
Yeah, because I mean, like so if you do the rats, the rat people, they usually have like, or the
guy I was playing
ghost
against had 1 unit that was 10 guys in it, and that's
No, and that's usually
twice the size of one of my basic units.
That's usually the case. Like, I mean, 20 models is pretty much a given. Now, the other type of game that was on the thing was skirmish game, and so skirmish game lately have had a lot of good publicity, and I think that a lot of people are playing a skirmish game because they ended up not being able to go to tournaments and things like this, and so I think that skirmish game became a little bit more popular. So you have usually a low count model. You are playing with each of those models. So you will have games like Marvel Crisis Protocol. Marvel Crisis Protocol is usually, I would say, 7 to 10 guys is probably on your roster, whatever you want to call it. So it's your team, it's your affiliation, it's your cabal, it's your warband, it's your whatever. Again, depending on the games. Games like Frostgrave, Stargrave are also low count. You usually have them. So then there's a bit of difference. So games like Marvel Crisis Protocol, of course, they're all heroes. So all the characters are worth, like, are big points. More or less, depending on who it is. Then you've got, leaders like Captain America, like Doctor Strange, and things like this. They're leaders, and then the rest of them are still pretty big heroes, and so on. Then you have game like Frostgrave and that Frostgrave Stargrave, where you usually have a main model, his sidekick, and then a whole bunch of little less important troopers. Which have different, some of them can be, like in Frostgrave, can be thief, knights, whatever, like they have their own little, role in a way. Stargrave, you have your captain, your second in command, and then you can have medics, you can have robots, you can have, and so on and so forth. But again, like, you have the main characters and then a whole bunch of little things. Then you have, games like Space Weirdo, which I downloaded, I printed, and I have not looked at the rules yet, but it's a escape kind of thing. You do a small warband. Zona Alpha is another one also, where you have one main lieutenant or whatever commander of the group that's going in there, depending on your affiliation, and then a whole bunch of other little characters that go in there also and get fighting and so on. And again, model count is usually all around 10 models. And of course you have the latest one, which was A Rain in Hell, which came out, and it's the same thing. They're saying 7 to 10 models is usually how you play with. 10 models is the max anyway. And those you have your main guy, your leader, the Devote, which is the second in command, and then a whole bunch of little troopers type thing that will do the menial jobs. And then, of course, which made the news lately, Kill Team is another, where right now they actually limited to just 10 models. They didn't even do the points anymore. Usually there is the points just like in a big army game, but they have actually not done those for Kill Team now. So yeah, a lot of talk on Kill Team and everything. But again, that's a skirmish game. Warcry is a skirmish game that's also well known. Again, you have your band of guys, warband or whatever you want to call it. And smaller games, usually 3x3 is pretty much the maximum. Where you play on what? 4x6? 3x6 or 4x6?
It's 4x6 is
yeah.
the standard, was the standard size.
Yeah, because now with the 750 pounds, 50 points, it's actually less than that, right?
Yeah, the standard size for 40k and AOS boards is slightly smaller, so it's 44 by 60 for AOS.
Yeah, alright. And then after that, what I put in there for the poll was RPG and Dungeon Crawler. So the reason I put those in there is because there's a lot of people that play RPG now with miniatures. And they usually, well, if you play an RPG, you control your own miniature. You're not going to control more than one, usually. It's very rare. And then you go around and your guy is the main guy and it's important. Well, it's your main guy, so it's important to you. And everybody... multiple players control multiple characters. And then Dungeon Crawler, which is because of Infinity Defiance, there's 4 guys going in, so you can play up to 4 players. Usually it doesn't matter how many people plays, you're still gonna have 4. or 6 or 5 or whatever. Like Zombicide, for example, it doesn't matter how many people plays, there is always 6 characters. And so you can play maybe 1 or 2 characters sometimes, but it's still, the player count is even lower. It never is above 6, and it's usually pretty small, and what you control yourself is usually 1 or 2. And that's played more board gamey like on small boards and everything. So yeah, those are kind of the main genre, and I'm sure people, I mean, where do you put games like Gasland? Skirmish, kind of? Because you have a small, like you have about 4 or 5 cars and
3 or 4 cars, 5 cars.
Yeah. So it is a skirmish in a way, but it is a race, but you're fighting. But so there's a pretty sure a lot of games that are gonna fall into those niches of where do they fit exactly? Nobody knows, then nobody cares because they're awesome. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. But I prefer smaller games like skirmish, like dungeon crawler. I'm gonna try to paint all those. It's gonna be crazy. I got like 50 models to paint for Infinity Defiance, but yeah, those are. And then I've played with my kids Mice and Mystics, which is a board game type dungeon crawler where people got turned into little mouse, and little mouse are fighting like big cockroaches and spiders and things, and it's really fun. And the kids loved it, and we finished the whole campaign, and now we have the expansion that we need to start and all this, and so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Gloomhaven is very well known dungeon crawler, which is still on the top of the board games still now. Frost Heaven is coming. I've backed it, so I'm gonna get it probably sometime, I think next year now. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm not sure. But anyways, so that's kind of more the games that I prefer. And I know that, and it's just because they're smaller, they take less time, and especially with the kids and everything, it's always easier to play smaller games. But yeah, so please tell us why you like, because you play big games.
I tend to play your quote-unquote pitch battle sort of army games. That's not to say that I don't play skirmish games.
No, but you prefer those games, right?
I like having lots of things to move around. That's just the part of my brain that it tickles. Yeah, but I mean, as part of the club that I'm with, we do like big participation games every week. So there is a game going on that if you don't have anything planned, you can jump into. So that's normally run by the older guys who do like all the historical stuff. So I think
because man, I forgot all the historical stuff. Jeez, there's a lot there.
I mean, all the historical stuff goes into all those different scales that you mentioned as well.
Yeah.
So the big historical game we had going on Sunday was a game called Sword Point, which is by a company called Gripping Beast, and it's by Studio Tomahawk. Gripping Beast published the English language rules. That was a 15 scale Dark Ages game, and they were playing that on a 12x6 board.
Okay.
They had all the stuff out, and people.
And that's an army game then.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, like, instead of pushing around a figure, you're pushing around a stand with 10 figures on it. So it's just another level zoomed out.
Yeah, it's like Songs of Ice and Fire, I think it is, where it's a tray with the army on it, and then you push the trays around.
Yeah.
And it's
but smaller.
Smaller, okay, yeah. Oh, is it 15 mil?
So, yeah, Song of Ice and Fire is still 28 mil.
Yeah. But this one was
it's 15 mil.
15 mil, yeah. Oh yeah, so you can. So you have like and then on top of that, you're on a giant board, so you have like army that are almost equivalent to thousands of guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because
And
it's a whole... yeah.
They do Napoleonics, and
Yeah.
they did American War of Independence the other week.
Yeah.
They had big bag of cotton wool that they were putting out in front of all the rifle regiments every time they fired.
They fired. Ah, yeah, that's really cool.
And I mean, I've run like Horus Heresy scale participation game. The last one I run was a Talon themed tank battle. So I was like, right, okay, everybody bring all your tanks for 40k, and we'll roughly split them in half, and we'll get this really big table, and I've got a couple of special rules that I'm going to save for the day, and we're gonna have a big tank battle. And it's just going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so bolt action. Bolt action is
army size.
Army size, yeah. Then you have Spectre Operations. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's a modern war game.
Okay.
Just like Afghanistan and blah blah blah, and you have like African conflict, and you can do drug cartels, and you can do SWAT team and bank robbers, and and it's all like modern, current weaponry, and they have vehicles and everything. That one is a skirmish, because you usually have a small count as well. Usually insurgents and things like this have a higher count because they're not trained. So you're limited by the number of points, and then you have like the very high elite group that are trained militaries and all this and blah blah blah. Anyways, so yeah, that's also kind of another skirmish game. I mean, again, there's
guys in my club who are writing a skirmish game.
Oh, cool. And there's, literally, there's...
He saw some World War II film and was like, "Oh, I want to do that. I don't want to do bolt action. I want to do that." So he sort of scribbled some notes together, and he's
well, that's
grabbed somebody at the club to play that with, and they've basically gone, "Okay, how do I set up?" And he's gone, I didn't write that.
Well, no, and I think
so
that
a year and a half
rules...
later, they're getting to the point where it's starting to look like an actual rule set. So,
well, no, and I think that's I mean, whatever. If you want to write rules, it's gonna be very, very complicated. I mean, it's not easy to make something that's coherent, balanced, and so on and so forth. Yeah. There is one that's so it's not Songs of Ice and Fire, it's another one with the name kind of similar, and we played it with my son a little bit. Anyways, Health and Goblins and things like this. But anyway, so there's quite a lot of choices out there, and I think that everybody needs to just and I think going like you're doing, going to a club and trying out games. I know that you can go to I went to Warhammer store way back when I was down in Dallas, and I walked in and the guy was like, "Hey, do you wanna play a turn of 2 of Warcry?" Because Warcry was the one that just came out, and so they had painted models, they had the thing. It was set up so that you could basically just take one turn and see how, if you like the rule set, and explain really quickly, and you play it right away. And I'm sure if not a lot of stores are doing it, at least the Warhammer stores, I'm pretty sure, will have some kind of demo running, and especially like probably right now. I went
to get these today. They had a couple of kids in playing through a demo game of 40k.
40k. Oh wow! Because it's. And I know that there are clubs that you could go and you can watch. Like sometimes you can just sit and watch and be like, "Hey, can I watch you guys play?" And I know that one of the club that was next to again where I lived in Texas, they had I mean, I went one day and they were playing. One table they were playing Gasland. Another table they were playing Magic. For of course, you'll have the people playing Magic cards and everything. But another one they were playing, I think it was 40k. Another one they playing Edge of Sigmar. Another one they were playing a boat navy game with small models. One of those period accurate, naval battle things. I know that there is Blood and Plunder, which is a 28 millimeter. Yep. That's a 28 millimeter skirmish, and again, there's ships and stuff. The ships are huge and resin, and those must be super fun to move around the table. Again, if they, I think there's enough on all the different periods of time, as well as all the different fantasy. You can have the Marvels, you can have Knights miniature. They do DC. You have Atomic Mass Game now doing the Star Wars. I mean, there is enough IP and enough things out there that you can find what you like. You like 40k, you like that universe and all this. You can play 40k, you can play Necromunda, you can play Kill Team. They're all within the same kind of universe and all this. There's a lot of grim dark things, new stuff that are coming out. I mean, like I said, I think there's a big option out there. And there's a lot of board games that I think are gateways to that. Again, like things like Mice and Mystics, things like Gloomhaven, things like Infinity Defiance, which I just received. I think it's we'll see. The rule seems to be a little bit more complex than a basic board game, and again, you have to assemble the miniatures and paint them and all this. So it's more. It's even more in between. But there's then Kingdom Death Monster is a board game kind of. There's Skytear, there is all those things, like all those games that are miniature games now, which are I would say in between, low count, not really a skirmish game, not really a board game, and it's a good platform for getting people into the hobby. And the miniatures are fine by themselves, and they usually are different colors so that you can see on what side you're in. But if you want to paint them, that's a good way to start. I mean, I have some. Like this guy. This guy is a big toad monster thing. That's from Mice and Mystic, the expansion, and I started painting them. And I painted a whole bunch of them in contrast paints really quickly, and it was, and I think that's good things to start with. A lot of board games you can paint them, and it's easy to paint. It's fun to paint. Doesn't really matter. And so so whatever you like, again, as we always say, enjoy the hobby, enjoy the game, and just if you don't play any games and you enjoy painting, that's also fine. Most of the people, when we had the thing you will have seen the little thing on the screen saying the percentage and everything, but basically Armistice and Skirmish had the same number of votes, which was 39% on both of them. RPG Dungeon Crawler were the smallest one. So, for everybody, sorry about the interruption. There's probably going to be a cut in the video. My son came in because he just lost one of his tooth. So, yeah. Alright. So I was saying, mostly Armistice, Skirmish, they had the same number of votes. A lot of people don't play, actually, which I think, again, is fine. If people like to assemble, paint minis, do dioramas. I mean, I've started doing a diorama as well. Like, this is not for a game or anything. It's just because I just wanted to.
Because Star Wars is cool.
Yeah, and I think that scene is awesome. When he comes in and he just destroyed all the Dark Troopers that the poor Mando took 10 minutes to even manage to barely not get killed by one, and Luke comes in and just eradicates like 25 or 30 of them in no time. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, if you like to paint, if you like to do all these things, that's fine. it's enjoy. And if you like big armies and things like this, again, enjoy. And yeah, so we're gonna talk, unless you have more to say about it. Again, your club. What's your club if people are in the region?
It's Lost Legion Wargaming Hitchin, which is in North Hertfordshire.
Okay.
We have we like I do the social media posts on a semi-regular basis. So I did the one for today. We had on the weekend we had Kill Team.
New one?
That's like no old one. New one's not out till Saturday.
Oh yeah, but aren't the rules already? Like nobody has the rule already. Probably someone somewhere has the rules.
Some people have been sent the rules early. So I think somebody today in the club Discord was like, "Hey, I got these." Posty came, and we were like, "Shouldn't have that."
Don't say anything.
It's been sent out too soon.
Keep it for yourself.
Don't tell Games Workshop.
Yeah.
So we had that. We had 40k. No, we didn't have 40k. We had Age of Sigmar. I was playing Age of Sigmar, so that's the next stuff up from that. We had a 4-way kill Necromunda game going on in the corner.
Yeah, I'm interested in Necromunda. Have you tried?
I've not tried the current Necromunda. No, I'm trying to avoid getting sucked in.
Another game.
Yeah. And we had a couple of people down playing Adeptus Titanicus, which is cool. a game that I bought into, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. And also, everything takes forever to paint.
Yeah.
So
no, there's I have a lot of rules for games. I got Gasland, I got Frostgrave, Stargrave, Space Weirdo, Last Days, which Last Days is a zombie apocalypse thing done by Ash Baker, which is the guy that does a guerrilla miniature, guerrilla game.
The man who reads books.
Yeah. He's a beast. He paints like crazy. He comes up with content. I don't know when he freaking sleeps, but I mean, it's just crazy.
I don't think he does.
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm sure he's a robot. So Last Days, Gamma Wolf, I don't think I have it. I don't think I bought this one. I have a bunch of PDF that I bought, but not Gamma Wolf yet, but Gamma Wolf is a robot combat thing, also skirmish. I mean, they write a lot of skirmish games, so yeah. Again, there's so many out there, so many that you can find the style that you like. I mean, there is one that came out in one of their books with Blaster, which is a magic carpet game.
Okay.
So your guy, which is the main character, is on a carpet flying around, and he just controls the battlefield, and then everybody else fights, and they can summon genies and demons and whatever, and they fight. And so yeah, I mean, there's so many different games, so many different things that you can find out there. So how is it called? There is a tabletop something where you have all the rules on one thing. So tabletop Vault, I think it is, because the RPG Vault or something like this. You can find all those. There are a lot of rules for all those games. So yeah. So again, go there, find what you like, and enjoy. All right, let's talk.
You're enjoying yourself.
Yep, exactly. Let's talk 3D printing a little bit. I'll go quickly. I've talked about some of those already. So, primer filler on your terrain is a good first step. The primer filler gets you to have it will get rid of some of the striation of an FDM printer, which usually are pretty visible. Couple of coats, you should take care of it. it's a pretty good thing that you need to like. I think everybody should do. You can find a primer filler pretty much anywhere in stores. The last time we talked about 3D printing, I talked about Shitubox and the fact that they locked the board on the new Mars 3 printer and that you could only use it with their things. So Elegoo worked with them and they say they will release an SDK. So that means that if they release an SDK, other people like Lychee will be able to come up with the same format files, and so you will not be limited to using only Shitubox and only the latest version and blah blah blah. So there's gonna be some. It looks like it is solving itself because there was such an outcry from everybody going, "What the hell? Why are you locking one machine to a specific slicer? That makes no freaking sense." So yeah, that seems to be going in the right direction. Now there are 2 Kickstarter that will come out, and Anycubic and Elegoo went 2 very different way. Anycubic went, we're gonna do a printer that's gonna be very small size, about, I think a little bit even smaller than the Mars. Not even the Mars 2, but like the initial Mars and the initial Anycubic photon. So about that size, even a little bit smaller. But instead of using a screen, they're using a projector. So technically, the resolution of the projector is only 720p, but the actual resolution on a miniature is a lot higher. So you're getting a lot more detailed print. And that's a different type of... it's not SLA or it's not LCD, blah, blah, blah. It's a different form. It's... I don't remember. DLP, I think is the name for it. And it's, again, the good thing is, instead of having a screen where the resin can go, it's just a piece of glass, which means that to change it is going to be a lot easier and a lot cheaper. Now, the projector itself is a lot more expensive than a screen because it's not a screen like a phone screen, which is just a phone screen which is monochrome. It's not that anymore, so that part is a lot more expensive. So to keep it from being too expensive, they've done a smaller machine, which is mostly plastic from what I've seen online of people that already got prototype. So again, cheap machine, well, cheaper, very high resolution, small. Then Elegoo went the other way, and they've made right now, and I've seen it today, but the Kickstarter is coming in September, and it's called, well, they've done the Mars, they've done the Mercury, which is the cleaning station, they've done the Saturn, which is the bigger one, like the one step above, and I have it on there, the Saturn is 192 by 120 by 200 millimeter. So it's a nice build plate. I mean, mine is a lot smaller than that. Now they're coming with the Jupiter, which is going to be 277 by 156 by 300. So freaking massive. And so they went the other way. They went like super big. The screen is going to be 6K, which right now the Mars 3 is a 4K small. The Saturn is a 4K also small. And now this one is going to be bigger, but it's going to be 6K. So you'll keep the same resolution. You'll just be able to to print ginormous prints, basically, like really, really big prints. So yeah, really interesting. And they have a new thing also where you put your resin bottle upside down in a corner. And so as your resin goes down, it will automatically fill it back up. And I think that's super cool, because I think a lot of issues with the big printers is your vat can be as big as you want. There is a limit to how much you can put in there. And if you build something that's really tall, then you have the issue that you're gonna run out of resin, and then people usually have to top it off. They put a timer and they say, oh, midway I'm gonna check it. So with that system, you can have your entire bottle on the side, and it's just gonna be like, you put a brand new bottle, you fill it up with a full bottle, and you have pretty much 2 liters of resin that you can just use. And so I think that would be really cool. Again, Kickstarter is coming out in September. They're saying about $600 US, which for big machine like this is just getting crazy cheap. I know it's not cheap. $600 is not, definitely not cheap, but yeah. So yeah, that's the latest news that I've seen. The Anycubic one, they're saying like $300+, but again, yeah, super high quality, but super small build plate. Is that really something you? It depends what you're doing, I think, more like anything else. Definitely not something that I would like to go with. I would rather have a bigger printer and having fun with that. But right now, again, mine, I love mine. I'm not in the market for a new one. I don't think I will back this up, but I think it was definitely like it's a huge printer for people looking for that. I think it's a really good deal. And again, you'll get it probably with a lot of options cheaper because of Kickstarter and all this. Why are they still doing Kickstarter when they're making millions? I don't know. It's more, I think, a pre-order than an actual Kickstarter, which they should just say, hey, it's a Kickstarter.
I don't like when people do
it's
that.
It's a pre-order. It's not. Yeah. It's not a Kickstarter. Just they should make a new site. Pre-order. Because that's what it is. It's not. Anyways. All right. Now the news. Why don't you tell us your news? Or unless you have something 3D printed related that you're on.
I don't have anything 3D printed related to go on about.
Well,
it's on my shade brush.
Are you? Yeah. So how's that going? Good.
It's got a tip on it. Just nice.
Yeah.
It's better than my other one.
So yeah, 3D printing not something you're.
I don't have the room.
No, I understand, but like, do you like? And you know, like, I started looking at printers way before I had my first one, and it was more like, yeah, you know, like you can go to, sometimes you have access to they do some workshops and things like this where you can have access to a printer and just go see and talk to guys, and I don't know if it's something that interests you at all.
I've got access to a printer.
Yeah,
I just don't own one.
Yeah, and well, but is that something that you're interested into, or not so much?
I kind of gave it a little look a while back, and I was talking to my brother who's got a resin printer, one of my friends who's got a resin printer, and another one of my friends from the club who's got a filament
FDM.
Yeah, and I was like, well, thinking about all the different things about where I'd need to put it, so it'd have to be in the house.
The resin,
there's nowhere in the house
where
it's not going to stink everything out. So what I'll do is, if I find anything I want printed, I'll just buy the STL and email it to you.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. If you have someone that has a printer, that's pretty much the easiest way to do it, and be like, hey, can you print this?
Can you do all the hard work for me, please? Thank you. Cool.
I'll give you the money for the 50 grams that you're gonna use of, not even, for doing a miniature. Like, here's your £2, not even, because usually one mini is like 20 cents. You can pretty much get it for So, and then you're like, oh yeah, and electricity, okay, 22 cents, okay. It's no, and that's why, like, I think today it's becoming a lot cheaper to own one and everything. But then again, all the crap that that I have to deal with, which is I need to change the FEP, and I don't want to, because there is, I don't know, like, you look at it and you're like, oh, there's like 10 screws, and so you grab your little Allen wrench and you undo your 10 screws, and then you pop the thing, and then underneath there's other screws. This time it's just like 30, and it's a smaller Allen wrench, and you're like, oh god damn it. And then you undo all those, and then you pop the film, and then you put the new film, and then you pop you put them back in, and you're like, oh come on. And that last time I think I spent like 2 hours doing it, and I was like, oh, yeah. But I need to do it. I really need to do it.
And I'd rather let somebody else do that.
Yeah, no, changing again, like changing the nozzle on a FDM printer, changing the, what did I change? The nozzle, the extruder. I changed, I mean, the sensor for the heater, the heating probe on the filament printer. I changed that one too. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time just doing a lot of things on a lot of tinkering, which is sometimes kind of a pain. But yeah, I still like it. I still love my printers. But yeah. All right, news. What do you have for news?
The first bit of news was last week. I found out that Secret Weapon Miniatures is closing.
That sucks. Yep.
Which is a sad thing, because I've spent many denarios on their bases over the years. Like all of my Iron Warriors for my Heresy army are on.
And they have some good. They have some
bases.
They have some good washes also.
I never had the opportunity to try out any of their other kit. Oh, I missed a bit on this guy's knee.
Yeah, that happens.
There's a lot of trim on these. Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's that. When I saw this, like
combination of the global health crisis and Brexit, and
when I saw that,
they're shipping a lot of stuff over here to us.
Yeah.
So,
can you still find them, or I know they're gonna do like a big sale or something. Is that something you're gonna go into just to try to see if you're?
I'll poke my head in as soon as that's announced and see if there's
something that
stock up on the bases from the theme that I've used for my army, so that if I end up buying anything else for it, I've got spare bases.
Yeah, for sure. That sucks. Yeah, it's sad because it's sad to see, like, and it it's not companies like Games Workshop and like they won't. Well, I say that, but Privateer Press is saying people are saying Privateer Press is not looking too good either. So I don't know. Yeah, it's been weird. And I don't know if you heard that Vallejo at one point people were saying they're not doing too good. But somehow I have not heard anything since then, so, and there seems to be still having paints so that are available, so I don't know. But yeah. Alright, well, that's sad. What else?
We got a load of new shiny toys coming out for Games Workshop games.
Right.
So, Horus Heresy. They've got some Legion-specific leaders for the Ultramarines Legion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like your Space Marines in blue, gold, and Roman themed, then got the Ultramarine Legion Praetors in power armor and Terminator armor.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Which are nice. The sudden resurgence in Games Workshop remembering that Horus Heresy models are a thing that they can make is
it's good for you, I guess.
It's quite good. So the faithful have been going, oh, this mean we're getting more regular Heresy stuff now.
Ooh,
And I'm
what
like,
do you think?
I'd like to believe. I would like to believe. I've been hurt too many times.
I want to believe. Da-na-na-na.
So maybe,
Yeah.
possibly,
Alright.
not
We'll
holding
see.
out.
But they look okay. Again,
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit too. They have too much stuff on them. Oh crap!
They're meant to be like the senior veterans and the senior commanders.
So that's why they have 20.
So they're all blinged out. I think there was another picture on that article of a set that they previewed earlier in the year for the Legion, the mortal enemies of the Legion that I play. So,
is it the Black Templar or something? Or is it for something
Imperial
else?
Fists.
Alright.
Imperial Fists, the yellow bastards.
Alright, cool.
And I'm sat here going, where's the love for the Iron Warriors? But that fits the Iron Warriors, as we're the last ones to be thought of and get all the shit jobs. Staying in the grim darkness of the far future, there's a new Titan for Adeptus Titanicus, the Warmaster Iconoclast class Titan.
Freaking big is that model?
So that's going to be about that big.
Holy shit. That's big. Wow. So for the listeners out there, that's probably like 20 centimeters, like 10 inches, 25 centimeters, 10 inches, around that.
It's
probably. Jeez, that's big.
They don't
that's what she said.
Do no, they don't do a 28mm scale one of those.
Well, no, because that would be, holy moly, that would be huge. Like that would be like 2 feet tall.
No, but Forge World do a 28mm scale Warlord Titan, which I kid you not is about that big.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like 2 feet,
and it's $1.5 grand.
Wow, holy!
You buy the body, then you buy each arm weapon separately, then you buy each shoulder weapon separately, and you buy the head separately.
Oh, so you can. All right. So you can spend time.
It's modular.
So you can buy something, and then wait, and then buy something else, and wait, and buy something else, so you don't feel like you're spending $2,000 in one go.
I mean, all in, it's about $1.5 grand. So
gosh, that's a bit much.
It's the size of a small child. The Warmaster, I think,
God damn it,
is supposed to be slightly bigger.
Okay, jeez.
So I've not seen a plastic Warmaster yet. So if I saw one of those next,
what are they? If they're not plastic, they're metal, or
the 28mm scale ones are resin.
Resin, okay, yeah. Because I'm like, metal is like, you're just no.
No.
It's like 10 kilos or. I'm putting.
I mean, the resin Warlords are heavy.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still.
So there's lots of those are just solid blocks of resin. But yeah, they're nice. They're pretty. This one's got a giant chainsaw arm and a gravity claw and like loads of weapons built into the body. So that's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
So
I look forward to seeing
the
Titanicus players in my club painting that up.
So what kind of? So is it the Titanicus just like is the rule set? Is it skirmish or is it?
It's skirmish in that you're going to have like maximum maybe like 8 or 9 models.
Well, $2 grand a model, yeah.
No,
just kidding. Yeah.
I know, 28mm scale.
One,
the Titanicus.
Yeah. But
like the Warlord Titan, I think is like £60 in plastic.
Yeah, and so it's basically a giant robot
It's giant robot
Fighting.
fights. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, it's not too late.
And I love the game. It's got a command terminal for each Titan. It's got a heat track on it for the reactor heat. You've got a shield track on it for how well your shields are doing. You've got location-based damage. And occasionally the machine spirit of the Titan will not like what you're doing and take control, turn around and shoot his mate in the face.
Nice.
And this kind of thing will happen when you kill the Titans as well. And I love like the clusterfuck of like you kill one Titan, it turns around, falls into another Titan, fires its weapons at a third one, and like
chain reaction of
chain reaction. Stuff is pretty normal, and then when stuff starts going wrong, everything starts going wrong, and it's just fun. And
that's pretty cool.
You get to yell engine kill every time you kill something, which is great.
Cool.
Moving on from that into the mortal realms of Age of Sigmar, you've got the Nurgling and the Grifthound plushies.
Oh, I've
which
seen
are cute
those.
and adorable.
Yeah, I like the Griffon. He's so cute.
There's slight controversy on the Nurgling.
Why?
It doesn't have ass cheeks. It's just smooth. So
where do you buy those? Is it like are they gonna be like at like any superstore?
I don't think they're gonna be in stores. I think they're gonna be through the Warhammer merch store.
Okay, so they're not even gonna do like like a whole bunch of them, different things, and just put them out in like superstores and in during around Christmas and be like, hey, buy that for your kids. I
have no idea. I would love to see a shelf full of Nurglings in the supermarket.
That would be fun.
That'd be.
Yeah,
that'd just be
your targets or your that would be fun for sure.
And in slightly sadder Age of Sigmar news, where's my book, Games Workshop? Where's my toys? It's the new Stormcast book would be quote unquote available to pre-order in August. So there I was,
getting close to the end of August.
There I was, sat playing my game on Sunday. Got a buzz on my phone as this is what's available for pre-order next week from Games Workshop. Article went up on Warhammer Community. I scrolled through and I was like, that's none of that's for me. This is the last pre-order window for August will be the day after you see this podcast.
So
the next Saturday.
Do you know why, or?
I'm guessing that all the books are on a boat somewhere.
Yeah.
Games Workshop don't make their books in-house.
No, not yet.
All their cardboard stuff gets made in China and shipped over to them.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they've got shelves and shelves and shelves for the new models.
It's been crazy, especially
that they would like to be selling to me, but they want to sell everything at the same time.
Which makes sense.
Shrug. Which gives me more time to finish the Dominion box. So.
Yep. True. Yep.
Although I'm not going to get it finished if I'm only doing
2 models up
on the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mortal Realms is finishing soon, so I'll just
start cramming those once you're done. Yep.
Through that, get that done, and then I'll get all the Dominion stuff. That's my news.
All right. Well.
News in the stuff that Liam cares about.
So, my news, and I talked a little bit about it last time, but so Marvel Crisis Protocol, they keep just coming up with new stuff. I should say Atomy Smash game keep coming up with new stuff for Marvel Crisis Protocol. They showcased Hulkbuster with a new model for Iron Man, which if they go by the movie, if it's the suit that goes in the movie, then it's marked 43. And Hulkbuster, I think, is 44 or 42. It's either one. But I think it's 43 and then 44 is the Hulkbuster. But anyways. So they're talking that it would be like Ant-Man, which means the card will have like basically you have a transformation.
Neat.
So it would be you will have Hulkbuster, then Hulkbuster will Iron Man, then Iron Man, Hulkbuster on the other side, kind of thing, and just transform into like you can do with Wasp and with Ant-Man, where they go from small to big. And I think they also announced recently Miss Marvel, which also has a small version and a bigger version where she has a giant punch. So again, there's gonna probably be a transformation action kind of thing.
I do appreciate a good transformation mechanic in my miniatures games.
They're pretty good for that. They're pretty good.
It's another bit.
So that was the thing that they announced. Atomic Mass Game. They announced some new tanks for Legion. One for the Separatists, and then the other one for the Empire, I think. Well, it's the episode 1, 2, 3, the Clone Wars. So one is for
and the Grand Army of the Republic.
Yeah, exactly. So one is a transport type thing. The other one is the weird threaded ball thing.
Like the uni-wheel tank thing.
No, it's the one that's got the weird weight shape in the middle and then the two threads on the side that are weird looking.
There'll be a picture up on the screen now that I can have a look at when the podcast starts.
Yeah.
And I'll look over there and I'll go, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, they've come up with a lot of new stuff for Legion, which I think were already in the pipeline with Final Fantasy game, and it's just that I don't think they've done the full transition as far as the actual designs and everything. I don't think they've done that yet. I think they're still doing stuff that
Fantasy
Flight came out with. Now, the other thing that they announced, which didn't go as well at this one for some reason, or as well as the Marvel thing, is they're pretty much stopping Armada. So Star Wars Armada is not gonna get any new models. So now, the way it's worded is a bit weird, I have to say. So they're saying, oh, we're gonna be reprinting a lot of things, but we have no intention as of now to go into new stuff. So the question is, or is it just a pause because they realized that Armada tanked because of supply? There was a very big issue, and it's not recent, and it was not COVID or anything related. It was even before that.
Like a lot of the Fantasy Flight games suffer from supply issues
because they were announcing them, but they were not coming out.
5 copies of each kit.
Yeah. No, and I think that's. So I don't know if they wanna redo a base on it. You know, like be like, hey, let's just start from scratch. Let's just go back to actually making sure that everybody has everything that they want, that they can get everything that they want. Because a lot of ships and stuff you cannot find because, again, like supplies and stuff. And so I don't know if that's one of the issue, and that's what they want to do. I am not sure, or if they're just like, okay, yeah, we're done. Let's concentrate on Legion and X-Wing. And I mean, they have no rules for X-Wing for huge ship.
Yeah.
Or big ship. No, big ship on X-Wing. So I don't know if they want to like do a more rounded thing where you're gonna actually have bigger ships on X-Wing and everything. I'm not too sure. Let me try.
They had large ships in the first edition of X-Wing. So you had things like the cruiser and the transport and...
Yeah, and I know that, I mean, the problem also is, like, even Armada, they came out with, like, the VSS.
Yeah.
That stuff is huge. And it's like $120 or something like that. I think it's even more than that. And it's huge, yeah. And it's pre-painted, and I'm sure, like, being pre-painted, like, you're... And so I don't know if they're gonna come out with a new game. I'm not sure. Oh, they actually... Do you know what? I'm just looking at their website right now, and they just came out with the helicopter of the Wookiees.
Alright.
Yep. So that one is coming out too.
That'll be for Legion then, yeah?
Yeah, and that's the like look that's the tank.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, you'll get a picture on it, a better picture than this on the screen. All right. As we move into 2022 and beyond, we are excited to continue support of Star Wars Armada by prioritizing reprints of existing products and through organized plays initiatives. So they want to continue doing tournaments and things like this, and they want to continue like printing reprints of the existing product. However, we currently do not have any new Armada products in development. We will provide additional information as it becomes available. So this is the thing. I think someone in there went, look, we're not making money out of this. We need to put it on pause. Let's see if we can reprint and do all these things. Also, reprints means they will do the FOMO thing.
Yeah.
Because they will be like, hey, we're reprinting that ship for a limited time for 2 months. Order yours now. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, does that mean that that's it? They're not going to reprint it after that? Okay, let me buy one. And all of a sudden, it gets a lot more people into it and so on. Organized play, I have to say that they've been really good at organized play. Atomic Mass Game have been really good doing that. So, I don't know. I'm not convinced that Armada was a big success. And of course, a lot of people are getting upset and a lot of uproar going on and everything, and people being like, yeah, you know, like they just moved in and they killed the game and blah 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 and all this. Well, yes. And now a lot of people are saying, oh, no, like in a year they'll do the same to X-Wing, and then Legion is next and blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, Legion is working really well. It's getting better and better. I don't know, like, do people play at your club?
We've got a couple of people who are starting to get into Legion, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Legion is the same as 40k. You need a whole bunch of freaking models and armies and stuff. And again, like, they're coming up with new models. It's like we said before, Disney license is freaking printing money. You know, Marvel.
Yeah, I mean,
Marvel and Star Wars and like, yeah, go ahead, print money.
The Star Wars license that Fantasy Flight Games had was basically a license for them to make money.
Yeah.
They can just...
And I...
It's like, do we want some more money? Let's put a new Star Wars product out.
Now, listen to this one, and you heard it here first. I think they're gonna do a new X-Wing Armada type game. More like the 40k games with airplanes.
Okay.
Where it's gonna be unpainted models. And scale is gonna be slightly bigger. I would not say 28 millimeters, but close enough. Because right now, like, X-Wing is what? I don't even know what scale it is. It's like 1/100s or something like this.
Yeah, I think it's 1/100.
Now, I think they're gonna be like, you know, an X-Wing the size of, I don't know, like, yeah, like probably 20 centimeters or something like this, X-Wing. And they're gonna make those, and they're gonna make those in sprues, non-painted. And do you know why I think this? Because they've been doing a lot of stream where they repaint X-Wing and they repaint X-Wing and repaint, and they keep taking models of like all the X-Wings and all the different ships that there is in X-Wing the game, and they keep repainting them. And we're like, well, it's not a majority of people that play those games that repaint their models. I don't think so. Like, the whole point of this game was that it is, you know,
pick up and play.
It's exactly. So now you take, you know, like those, the right now, like the tanks and everything are about this big, which is, like, if you make an X-Wing, it's gonna be freaking huge. There's no point. But if you make the tanks that they have right now, which are models that are like about 25 centimeters, like some of them are pretty freaking big. If you take those models and you're like, okay, let's make this the biggest ship that you have for X-Wing, that size, then you're looking at a scale that's probably 15 mil, I would say, roughly. Maybe 10, 15 mil.
Yeah.
And you're still gonna have, like, again, like ships that are gonna be pretty massive. You can play on a board that's gonna be similar to what they're doing for Legion now. And you're gonna be able to do combat like this, where you're gonna have bigger ships, big models, detailed models that are gonna be in multi-parts and are gonna be paintable. They might make them smaller, and that would be, you know, like car size, you know, like Gasland type thing size, and that's pretty much what they are now. And so I don't think they're that multi-part to repaint is gonna be a pain. But I think they might just go that route and be like, hey, here's our new game. Here's a skirmish game where you're gonna have a squadron of X-Wing, 4 or 5 models tops, but bigger models. And they love their skirmish games.
How big is that starter set going to be then?
I don't think you're gonna have a starter set. That's the thing. I don't think they will. Like, they might do a starter set with just 2 ships, 1 from each side.
Yeah.
Or 4 ships, 1 for each side, and then you get a box that's the size of, you know, like what they did for where you have 10 models in there. You're gonna have 4 models, but they're gonna be ships. And I mean, this one came in with
the X-Wing game at the moment. I don't know.
It's coming out with.
When I got into it, you had 3 models in it. It was
you only had 3 models. So yeah, so they can do the kind of the same thing, and be like, hey, yeah, it's gonna be a skirmish game. It's gonna be planetary skirmish base, fighting, aircraft fighting. So hey, on this one you're above. Like the background is a Star Destroyer, because that's where you're fighting above a Star Destroyer, and it's the dogfight. And this one is gonna be above, the desert of whatever, Tatooine, or Dagobah, or forest, or you can make like and they can make the mats for it with and you can do all these things. And I don't know. I think they've been doing a lot of repainting And that's why I'm thinking that they want to go the route of, hey, look, the models are a little bit bigger because they are detailed as hell. Like, you can see, like, this is Luke Skywalker fight, X-Wing because of this and this, and these small details right there. And you can see the little R2-D2 on the back, and you can paint it the way you want and all this. And I think that's maybe they're gonna go that way. Now, a lot of people are also saying that they might come up with like a redo of the dungeon crawler. What was it? Star Wars.
Assault?
Thank you. Yes. A lot of people are saying, are they gonna do a new one? Again, I don't know. I don't think so. I
think Imperial Assault got eaten by Legion.
Well, but it's not the same.
No.
But I think if they do an Imperial Assault type game,
but they did try doing like organized play stuff for Imperial Assault. And
yeah,
I think
no, and I think they're gonna do more like a skirmish game.
Yeah.
Like a Marvel Crisis Protocol, but Star Wars. 10 models, Rex, Luke Skywalker, blah blah. It's like main characters. On one side, 4 or 5 main characters, and then. So, or it's gonna be like, hey, you get your main guy, you get your support, you get 3-4 troopers. One can be a sniper, one can be a specialist, one can be something else, and you're looking at like a kill team version of Legion, where you got tops 10 models. You can use everything that you already have in Legion, so you can grab your sets and everything.
Don't listen to that man.
Yeah, if they do this, no. I already have Marvel. God damn it, I cannot do this. Because if they start doing this, then yeah, it'll be like, hey, buy your box of troopers, because you can use 3 of your troopers in your game as just troopers. But then but you might want one specialist, and you might want Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han Solo in the same team, and here you go, and you have your 10 characters and 10 models, and they're fighting, and that's it. If they do something like this, they're good at doing this. The way they've done with Marvel Crisis Protocol, I think they've done a good job as far as rules and everything, and I think they can do the same thing. They're gonna be like, here's your band of guys, and that's gonna be your team of 10 people on a smaller board, and it's gonna be a skirmish, and it's gonna last. And they tried to do a Final Fantasy game. They tried to do one where it's like a 500 points thing. No, it's already too much. No, it does not work. It's still the same game. Where I think that Atomic Smite game will do a brand new game using the models, and like I said, like more like a kill team or a Warcry version, where there's gonna be new models that you're gonna be able to use in Legion. And there's gonna be a lot of Legion model that you're gonna be able to use in that game, and I think that's where they're gonna be like, hey, play the skirmish, buy a few models, and then if you like it, there is a bigger game where you can play all the armies and everything. And he's gonna be like, hey, you're already playing Legion, you already have all those models. You wanna run something real quick? Why don't you just buy 2 other little models, and you can just have your team and do this and that, and have more actions and completely different style of play. And I think that's where they're gonna go. But not within the next year or so, I think, probably. But anyways, alright. Anything else? What do you think?
I think that would be good. Sounds very interesting.
Yeah,
we'll
see if it comes to pass, especially on the model games of X-Wing version bigger. This one, where you need to paint your own models. You heard it first here. It's like...
There was something
well,
I thought of while you were talking about that. I was like, oh, sneak that in at the end. It's gone again.
because there is a 40k game like this, right? That's the
Aeronautica Imperialis.
Aeronautica. Thank you. Yes.
The tiny planes.
Yeah.
That's hex based rather than
Yeah. Measurement and all this. But yeah, well, they like their gauges, so they'll probably still be gauges, but
I really, really liked the first edition of X-Wing. I spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah, they were. They're nice, but again, like your X-Wing is this big, and I think that double that, and I think that's the scale they should go for, and then all of a sudden, like multi-part plastic, with the level that they're doing, those guys. And the level they're doing the Legion stuff, they can make some really nice stuff. Like really, like they have reached that level enough that they can go and be like, hey, here we go, we're gonna do that. So now, do they want to do an armada dash like that or not? You got it. Go for it.
There is news from Gripping Beast / Studio Tomahawk that the next. I don't know if it's the next expansion for Saga, but reimagining from the first edition of Saga into the second edition of Saga coming soon is the Age of Invasions. So if you don't know about Saga, do you know about Saga?
I know about Saga, yes.
Brilliant. Love the game. Lovely game.
Never played, I've seen a battle report where it was Roman against... Was it SPQR? I think it was SPQR, not... I think I've seen a Saga one too. Yeah, anyways.
So they've got Age of Vikings, which is Dark Ages, like Western Europe.
Yeah.
They've got Age of Crusades, which is like second to third Crusade sort of period. They've got Age of Hannibal, which is sort of like early or late Republic Rome.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, full of Rome and all this and the new,
And they've got Age of Magic, which is quite interesting in that you've got archetypes for the factions rather than like, this is your humans, this is your dwarves. You don't have that. You can just stick them wherever you want. So it's
cool.
Super miniatures agnostic for that. But in the end of the first edition, they had a supplement called Aetius and Arthur, which was the setting for that was late Roman occupation of Britain.
Okay.
So just as Rome was starting to lose Britain, essentially.
Okay.
So that is being updated for the second edition of Saga.
Cool.
They had
so
a YouTube
is the
video
magic
for that
one? Is the magic one kind of like fantasy then, more than historical?
Yeah, that's their. This is a fantasy game, but we don't want to tell you what models to use because we're a rules company, not a miniatures company.
Okay, cool.
So I can use my Sigmar models in that, and there's probably 2 or 3 factions in that they could fit into. So I could use my Flesh Eater Courts as the Underdwellers, or I could use them as the Death faction. Use the Stormcast as the Noble faction.
Okay.
Or the Highborn faction, or stuff like that. So it's quite nice.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So I remembered that I've got big stack of boxes there that's got like a whole Roman villa and fort.
Nice.
In for terrain that I built and haven't painted.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Cool. Right. How is Mr. Falcon and Mr. Luke Cage looking?
Well, so Falcon, the explosion is done. I'm not gonna... Yeah, he's done. I'm not gonna try to... I think his looks pretty good. I just need to finish the base, put some wash on it to do the cracks and everything, and then usually what I do is wash in the cracks and all over the base, and then I just dry brush on it again to just re-highlight it. Luke Cage, I redid, and I just realized that I probably didn't use the right blue, so now I can see the difference in blue on his pen, so I will have to redo that. Did the beam, started on the base as well, just did the base coat, so yeah. Not a lot of work, but again, took my time. I'm just wondering, I'm just like, on the back of my mind is all those models from that. Jeez. I need to, like, the problem with metal miniatures is I think I need to prime them to actually realize like what I have to paint. Because it's just, I'm not used to that shine. So I don't, but I don't know where my, because I have some Stargrave metal minis. I think they're here. Oh yeah, that's it. And I mean, when you see the difference in, and I'll try to find like 2 minis that are, but yeah, the details are so much finer on the other one. Like, it's just, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, the Stargrave one are pretty good too, but it's different. Like, really, I'm impressed with the Infinity one. We'll see. Again, never painted any metal minis, so I'll I'm not sure if I want to finish assembly. I assembled the main characters and most of like the main box. I've assembled the main box and a few of the other box, and especially like I wanted to do this big dude. Like, he's huge and he's heavy and he just ow. Because there's still pieces of metal sticking out, so ow. But yeah, I don't. So he's pretty big, and oh, did you watch the unboxing or not?
Not yet, no.
Oh man! All right, so and I'm gonna try to grab it, and I don't know if people stay until the end of the unboxing, you'll see this, but like. This is the big baddie at the end, which I'm trying to find. Like, yeah, that's the bad guy at the end.
Sweet.
I cannot even fit it on the freaking. And let me just. I cannot. Like, he's just massive. I mean, look at this. Look at it this way. That's a 28mm next to it. That's how big this freaking thing is. And I'll try to do it the same on this camera, but yeah, it just like, yeah. So, that's the Megalodron, and that's like the main big boss at the end. And it's a 2-part resin, and it's just awesome. And I really want to paint him, well, her, it, whatever. I really want to paint it, because it's just... It's so cool.
The hex base is part of the game, yeah?
Yes, yeah. The game is hex-based, so most of the other ones are round because they only occupy one base. Some have bigger base, but they're still round bases, and he's the only one that has like actual hex base because it's just gonna cover just so many of them. It's just crazy. But yeah, he's huge, and I really like. If you, I'll put a picture. Well, you've seen it, but I'll try to put the pictures in the show notes for people that are just listening. You can go on the Kickstarter and just look at and find the Megalodron, and it's just, yeah, is it's massive. So I'm thinking that I might just give it a try. I've never painted something that big ever, except terrain. I've never painted like a model that's this big, but I think it could be a lot of fun to paint. No idea what. I mean, when you look at the colors, I don't even know what colors to go with. I would need to see like some reference and see what kind of direction I want to go to. But yeah, so that's definitely something I might want to paint next. I also have lot more MCP to paint, and some new ones that are coming. Carnage, Mysterio, Black Cat, and Spider-Man should be coming this Friday? Maybe? I need to check. So yeah, some good stuff. Still need that diorama to finish. I still have my Camelot resin mini to somehow figure out when to paint. I just got too much stuff. I got too much project ongoing, but yeah. We'll see. I still have tons of stuff up there that are not painted that I need to paint, but yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, well, what are you gonna paint? How are they looking?
The reds on their tabards.
Cool.
Done today.
Oh, they're starting to look good.
So I'm reckoning that more of a lamellar sort of thing than scale mail.
Butt napkin.
Yeah.
Like
So I've washed, painted and washed the reds. I've washed all the golds, and I've started. I put the base crackle paint on.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So that is all starting to come together. So that's in a point now where I can start working on the base details, like the little plants, the rocks, stuff, and then I can start tidying them up and doing the highlights.
Cool.
And yeah, I think after I've done these, I should probably do the squad of 10 Vindictors.
Okay.
And then I think I will pick at the characters in my own time, because I've got
a lot more too.
I've got this, which is the penultimate Mortal Realms delivery. So this is
you got
4
it?
issues.
Did you get
That's Monday.
Alright, cool.
So this is a Mortis engine.
Centerpiece, right?
So that's the big ghosty charity thing for the Nighthawk.
Pretty cool.
And then the next delivery is going to be the Celestin Prime, and then that's the magazine finished.
Yeah, and then after that you just do you continue Dominion.
Then I can smash my way through all the other stuff that I've got built up.
Oh, the secret project. Your secret project will be done by then, or?
Oh no, that's gonna take me a while.
All right.
I think.
Okay, cool.
Shouldn't take me too long, but yeah, it's finding the time to fit the secret project in, and then still doing my actual hobby streak stuff.
Well, you can put, like today I just did, secret project stuff. There you go. Here's a picture of a cat.
Yeah.
Or here's a picture of a...
put pixel filter over it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well yeah. You could do that too, yeah. Like, yeah, here's a secret project. But it's all blurry. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Here's a black bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
So, cool.
We're good.
Well, we just gonna get close to 2 hours with the little interruptions of my son losing a tooth and wanted more time on his Nintendo. They're going back to school tomorrow. So, yeah, which is good. Still with the mask and everything, which I think is good. So, yeah. So, yeah, well, Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Let me just rinse my little brush. I've put some wash on my bases. It's gonna take a while to dry, so I'll finish that later on. Again, enjoyed the talk. Hope you guys enjoying as well. Please send us questions. Join the Discord. We can talk on Discord and everything. But if you want us to a specific topic that you want us to address during this podcast, just let us know. Send us questions about ourselves, about the games that we play, about the figures that we're painting, about the technique that we use that you see us do on thing, anything. Just send us questions. Put them in a comment below if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, the email is in the show notes or again on YouTube below there. Twitters, don't hesitate, just send us question. Let chat going and keep hobbying. Enjoy. Bye everybody. Bye Liam. See you next time. This has been an episode of the Hobby Streakers. If you're following us on YouTube, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell for any future episode. If you're following us on a podcast, please leave a positive review. Thank you, and don't forget to keep that hobby streak going.